Welcome back to the Wheelie Good Podcast. Yes. We are here after stage 2 of the Tour de France, just before stage 3 actually starts.
Yes, sir.
And we're going to have a little chat about the stage from Cesenatico to Bologna, because it was another cracker.
Oh, yeah. For sure. Really saw some cracks in the armor of a certain Slovenian. Not the one you're thinking of, a different one. I'll let you start before we get into that part of the stage.
Okay, so I'll start off with breakaway again. We've had a 10-man group up the road. Once again, very big breakaway for the start of the Tour. Usually you don't get breakaways as large as this at the start of a Tour de France, but seemingly they're just being let go. And the gap kept fluctuating all day. Jonas Abrahamsson was in the break and took the King of the Mountains points. Other riders included the likes of Udo Mike Ternison, Kevin Vauquelin, Christian Rodriguez, and Axel Laurence, who was actually one of my picks for yesterday, did absolutely nothing.
Nice.
But so we had a 10-man group, and they worked really well together all day. So the gap kept going down on the climbs, but kept going up on the flat sections. And eventually, they just kind of had enough of a gap to make it all the way. So we knew that the breakaway was going the distance. And on the final 2 climbs of the day, 2 kilometers, I think around 10%, but that's kind of lies because you've got sections at 20% and sections at 5%. So, yeah. It's a very difficult, steep climb.
For sure.
So we were looking at prime Pogacar territory.
Oh, yeah.
But his UAE team, once again, weren't really too far towards the front.
Yeah, not really, right?
Plenty of riders weren't necessarily pacing for him. Pollitt obviously did his thing early on in the day, but none of his climbing domestiques again. We're starting to see cracks in that. But obviously the breakaway were going to make it. We saw attacks in the breakaway on those final 2 climbs. Firstly, it was Laurence and Quentin Paché who went for it, but everybody stayed together and we still had that group of 10 onto the final climb. And then it eventually got thinned to 3. Kevin Vauquelin, Jonas Abrahamsson, and I think it was Axel Laurence. Oh no, it was Nelson Oliveira, thinking about it. So Vauquelin, Oliveira, and Abrahamsson. And Vauquelin was clearly the best puncher of the 3. They'd managed to get a little gap on a flat section. So Vauquelin knew he had to hit the climb hard, and did. Abrahamsson didn't choose to follow his attack, tried to pace him in, because he could beat Vauquelin in a sprint. But the gap just kept opening, and Abrahamsson eventually got caught by the chasers.
Yes, sir.
So Vauquelin soloed the last 10 to 15 kilometres and went on to win the stage, a second French win in 2 days, which is impressive. Pretty ridiculous again.
Yeah, because it's so rare, I feel like, to get a French win, and then 2 days, damn.
Yeah, right at the start as well, which is pretty crazy.
We take those.
So I haven't gone through what happened in the GC group.
Oh no!
And that's probably the big talking point of the day.
See, I wonder.
Well,
what? Like, do you know what happened to Roglic? Like, was he far behind, or was he just unable to follow? Because I don't know.
So there is a hefty Roglic fandom on Twitter, which is why I know about this information. Roglic, apparently, again, I can't tell because the shots are really blurred, mainly because if he is so far back, you can't see him because it's blurred. But the rumours were that he was terribly positioned into the climb, which is kind of Roglic's fault, rather than his team's, because he had Hindley and Vlasov quite far up in the group, and he just couldn't follow the wheels. So Roglic was poorly positioned. Remco wasn't greatly positioned, but made his way up.
Yeah, he made it.
But yeah, Roglic was the worst positioned of the GC guys, and it was
Yeah.
Vingegaard and Pogacar. No surprise at the front.
So you can't really say it's not an ability problem. It's just like a, I guess, tactics or whatever problem at that point.
Yeah, I think it's just new guy on new team. Trying to get used to following teammates' wheels, and I don't think Roglic is great at bunch riding as it is.
Yeah.
So it's kind of unconfidence as well.
That's right.
That kind of cost him, I think, today.
Yeah.
So that's the first thing out of the way. There are bigger fish to fry in this podcast.
Oh yeah.
Because a certain other Slovenian showed his colours today.
I was real hungry. Yeah. He attacked. How long was it go? How long was there to go off the climb again? There was like.
It was a weird one. I think it was like 600 or so meters,
something
maybe.
like that. Yeah.
In the final kilometer at the very least.
Yeah. And all that talk about Vingegaard being, he's the underdog, he's not fully ready, blah, blah. Bro, he followed Pogacar in his specialty. I'm telling you, Pogacar ain't shit. He ain't shit.
Vingegaard followed the attack of Pogacar, which was a little bit weird. Benoit started the final climb at the front. And then once he finished his turn, Vingegaard was second wheel, so he was forced to the front, and he kind of flicked his elbow. And Pogacar was like, "No, thank you."
Yeah.
Then Jorgensen came through and started to pace, and then out of nowhere, Adam Yates just kind of went, "Hey, get out of my way," and began to set the tempo on the climb. And then Pogacar attacked off the Yates tempo. Weirdly on a slightly shallower section, which I'm not sure was tactically the best decision, because that's not his terrain. But Jonas was not directly onto the wheel, didn't have the snap, but reeled him in like a fish, just
for real, reeled him in.
Eventually they crossed the line locked together as a duo. Yeah. However, two more of the GC guys happened to make their way back.
Yes, sir. We got a little Remco Evenepoel. I'm not gonna lie, I do not remember the other one because I only focused on those three. Who was it again?
It was Richard Carapaz.
That's who it was. The EF Dunny. Yeah, congrats to him or something. I don't know.
He did no work apparently, according to Remco. Remco just closed the gap himself.
Right. Fair enough, I guess.
So, which is very classic Carapaz. That's the way he rides.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen the guy take a turn in the last 3 years at any race whatsoever.
Yikes.
But yeah, Remco, super performance to pace back 2 GC guys on his own, if that's to be believed.
Yeah.
And yeah, he was going like crazy. Caught them in the final 400 meters or something.
Yeah.
Carapaz sprinted past them all, no surprise. After sitting on the wheel all day. But he crossed the line first of the GC guys, which I don't think anyone would have predicted on today's stage. But it meant that we were looking at stage placings for the yellow jersey.
Yes, sir.
And Pogacar tried a little dirty trick, he later said in a chat with Remco. He tried to let the wheel go and lose a couple of seconds so he didn't have to wear the yellow jersey.
Right.
But it didn't work.
That was a good strat though, but not good enough.
Yeah, the reasoning behind it, I guess, is that you get forced to do lots of media and interviews, and you've got to do the doping test, which takes forever, and all of that time could be spent recovering.
Yeah, true.
So Jonas had like a 5-minute chat with the media and then just went straight back into the bus, whereas Pogacar had to do like several different interviews
Yeah.
and all of that.
Damn.
So there is method in the madness. Like, if any new viewers are watching, like Netflix viewers and the like, they're probably going to be super confused by the fact that, he's not tried
not
to
happy.
be in the lead. But
Yeah.
it makes sense when you look at the context of it.
Yeah, and also sometimes, usually your team has to do more of the work because you have the yellow jersey. Simply just an unwritten rule in a way.
Yeah. So there were some fiery quotes by Pidcock and Pogacar before the day, and Pidcock wants to continue that little beef, I think. It's been played out through the British media, so I'm not sure whether you'll have known about it.
Nah, no.
But it all started when Pidcock said something along the lines of, and yeah, don't quote me on this, but UAE should do better with the team they've got on stage one. They should have been more aggressive, and like, I'm surprised they didn't do better than they were. So they asked Pogacar about that on the morning of stage 2, and he said, well, that's a lot of talk from a guy who didn't sprint on stage 1, and
Damn, let's go. That's what I want to see.
Pidcock had another little jab at Pogacar yesterday. Not necessarily a major jab, but he just basically said, and it makes a lot of sense, with the team UAE have got, nobody's going to want to ride with them because they know they're just going to take Pogacar to the bonus seconds. So they've kind of got to suck it up and ride. So, yeah, Pogacar's already said he didn't want to send his team to the front too heavily because it was a hot day and all of that, which makes sense. Like, hot days are better for the breakaway because nobody really wants to chase you down. But yeah, 2 breakaway wins is already not looking good for the UAE super team, given that nobody else is willing really to pace with them.
Yeah. All against UAE, we love to see it. Bring them down.
And I mean, it's going to be less likely now with the yellow jersey. That's just another burden they've got on their shoulders.
Oh, yeah.
So.
For sure.
Yeah, I'm going to keep an eye on that Pidcock-Pogacar beef because, it could get a bit tasty. A little bit of first week beef, we love to see it.
Yes. Is there another Tour de France documentary next year? Or for this year?
Yeah, I think so. So,
Let's go.
Netflix, I mean, if you want somebody to sit in the seat and explain what's going on, this podcast,
this man right here, I think you're to the right, I think, maybe.
Yeah, it depends how you put this together, but there we are.
Might just put you to the left, it's so fun.
So, yeah, Pogacar now leads on GC. I think Remco is second because they've done it based on stage placings. Because they're Remco, Vingegaard and Carapaz are all on the same time now. So I think it's going to be super interesting on this third stage. You're going to have a sprint for first and a sprint for last.
Oh, yeah.
Because I think Pogacar wants to finish the last of the GC guys today, but not lose any time, obviously, just so he can get rid of the jersey. Yeah,
for sure. That would be fun to watch. But in terms of like what's going to happen on the stage, I guess it's a flat stage. It's, we have the final sprint, and I guess we have to break away maybe, but I doubt the sprinters team will let them go, considering they don't have like that many stages to go for. So they'll probably pace as hard as they can, I would assume.
Yeah, it's a long flat stage which is not conducive to a breakaway, 230 kilometers. So although it is going to be a tough day for the sprinters after 2 like hard hilly stages, they've got a long flat one. But yeah, it's not going to be a breakaway day.
Thank goodness.
So any predictions for the stage?
Yeah. Well, I have to go with the obvious one, with my boy. Maspelon's gonna win.
Well, there you are. You've left the other obvious one open for me then.
Yes, no worries.
Alpecin with Van Der Poel and such. I'm a bit weirded out that Van Der Poel wasn't involved heavily in the first 2 stages, so I think they're cooking something up for Philipsen.
That's fair.
Which is very boring predictions, I know. If you want an outsider, I'll give you Arnaud Delis at Lotto Destiny, first Tour de France, and wanting to win in that Belgian Championships jersey. I know that, and beat Philipsen actually in the Belgian Championships. So he's in good form, but I don't see past Jasper Philipsen today.
Nah. Do you think anything unprecedented is gonna happen, like a crash or something?
We did see crashes, actually. Thank you for reminding me. Yesterday, we saw Van Aert hit the deck.
Oh wow, I forgot.
Yeah, it was heading towards the intermediate sprints. Obviously, the pace in the peloton, the franticness, and all of that suddenly goes up.
Yeah,
and just a weird little crash at the back. You can't see what actually caused it. I think it was Jorgensen that went down first for Visma Lease Pike. He looked pretty bad, but ended up doing decent teammate job for Vingegaard towards the end of the day. So I don't think he's feeling too bad. We'll see how he is, I guess, this morning, having slept on it. But Van Aert went down. He gave a thumbs up to the camera and was less patched up than Jorgensen, so he's going to be all right.
Yeah.
But the main casualty was Ineos Grenadiers Belgian domestique by the name of Laurens de Plus, who looked pretty bad and clearly wasn't in great mood after he was given another rider's bike instead of his own spare.
Yeah.
So, Ineos might be not necessarily a domestique down, but a domestique weekend for Ineos.
For sure. Well, I'm not sure. I haven't looked at the final 5 kilometers in terms of there are any dangerous there's sometimes sort of dangerous corners and whatnot. I haven't heard anything from it, so I guess that might not be.
Yeah.
Because usually
what could make
I'll
it a little more
somewhere.
Dangerous.
Yeah.
Would be if Carapaz or Remco or either one of those two, because it won't be Jonas or Tadej, get themselves involved towards the front of the race, because obviously their stage placing is going to matter for whether they get the yellow jersey or not, and I think both of them kind of want that rather than Pogacar and Vingegaard who don't want it for the sake of recovery and all of that.
Yeah.
So I think you're going to see Remco and Carapaz mixing it with their Soudal and AF teams. And I think that might cause some trouble in the peloton.
That is true.
Apart from that, I think it's just the first day for the sprinters teams. Again, usually quite hectic because as a sprinter you want to win early and get all the pressure off. Especially if you're someone like Cavendish, but again, I don't see that happening after his vomiting on the stage one.
Yeah.
But first sprint stage is always hectic. You're probably going to see a crash today, whether that's in the early part of the stage or the late part of the stage, I don't know. Obviously, I don't wish it upon anyone, but I think that's most likely to happen.
Yeah.
I think that's it. There's been no movement on bingo cards, I don't think.
No.
Certainly, I've already had one gone because Laurens did not get himself into a jersey on stage 1. So
oh, right. Yeah.
I've already lost, technically, but there we are.
No.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's all we've got. We want to do generally short podcasts because I mean we can't talk necessarily about tactics because we're both dumb idiots. Yeah, so I think shorter form is going to work. This is probably just going to be about 20 minutes, so easy listen.
Yes, sir.
Give us a rate on podcast platforms and subscribe, of course, like the video if you're watching on YouTube. And I think that's all we've got for today. See you tomorrow for the stage recap and a little preview to the first mountain stage. So we're getting deep into this tour now.
Let's go.